Hey guys, this is Nicholas, and today we're going to talk about how to make Infinite Flight more realistic. So, the first thing you want to have is the actual app, which is Infinite Flight, which I probably you guys probably know what the fuck is this. So, how to make Infinite Flight more realistic? You could start by having also a online subscription, and the most realistic aircraft till now is the Boeing 787-9 8 10 and the Bombardier 8Q400. These are probably the most realistic aircraft you can have for now, and the A318, A319, A320, and A321. Now, how do you make it more realistic? Let's take, for example, the Airbus A321. Let's just wait until this loads in. Okay, so right now we are with the Airbus A321 Aer Lingus library, and what you guys can do is also weight and balance. This is something that could change your planes for performance while you're flying it, and you can also choose the number of passengers you can have on board the aircraft, cargo, and you can have a certain amount of cargo in the front or in the back, but you have to have a equilibrium between them. This why there's this synchronized button, because if you have too much cargo in the back, it will certainly affect your performance during takeoff or landing. So this is what I have to say for Infinite Flight. But Infinite Flight also has these add-on apps, which are Infinite Passengers and In-Flight Assistant. So I actually bought those apps, and I'm gonna review them for you guys because they're kind of useful as shit though. So where do you any blah blah blah. There's some setting around here. I'll show you guys I'll show it to you guys at a later video. But for now, we're going to talk about the apps, and I'm going to make an actual video reviewing both of them. So the apps I'm talking about is this one, which is called Infinite Passengers and In-Flight Assistant. I actually bought them, and let's start by Infinite Passengers. Let's just turn on rotation, and let's do a free fly. And what Infinite Passengers basically is an app that monitors the way you fly and actually simulates having real passengers on board. It will use the G forces that are applied to aircraft when you make maneuvers either left, right, up, and down, and it will actually affect the comfort of your supposed passengers on board the aircraft. So here you can set the time for arrival, let's say for example 50 minutes, V speeds, safety boarding recording, and boarding music. And we can choose, for example, you can buy these boarding musics, because once you buy the app, the only thing you have available is actually the monitoring of your flight, G forces, and the simulated passengers. If you want to buy safety recordings, they're actually pretty cheap, which are $1 or 99 cents, which basically is $1. And I actually bought the British Airways safety recording. Now, once you get here, all you need to do is just open Infinite Flight, and it will connect instantaneously. You hear connected safely, return to after landing, whatever. And if you guys do it all right, you can have the safety recording, and when you start pushback, the safety recording will actually start. This will say flight started. And once you do a landing, it will give you the safety audio, all that shit you probably will come to expect. And this is it. Infinite Passengers. And it also has this airline mode, which I'm logging in right now, which is something I don't really use. I just don't like to use it. You and it gives live flight a more immersive feel to it. Why? Because it monitors how you fly your plane, and also monitors the comfort of your passengers. And by that, you can get hired by other companies. Which, for example, I created my own company, but which totally sucks ass because I don't use it. And you can create your own company, and you can make your own flights and stuff like that. And you will get rated either good, bad, or just fucking horrible. Now it depends on how much of a good pilot you are, and you can actually recruit pilots to your airline so you can make even more money, and you can also buy planes. Yes, you can buy planes. You can make money inside the game, and you can also buy your planes, which is something I'm not going to go pretty into right now, but just to give you a brief show. And there's also Infinite Flight Assistant, which is something I totally recommend this app over Infinite Passengers. And right now I'm going to show you a pretty neat trick. So you can set the V speeds. Once you reach V1, there will actually be a voice that will tell you V1 120 knots, V2 140 knots, and VR, V rotation, which is 150 knots. And you can actually choose the speed that you want to. Let's say, for example, 120 knots. You already had it, bitch. Positive rate, gear call out, flaps call out. When you say gear, when it's gear call out, it basically says, the voice says gear up, like having a co-pilot with you. Gear up. There's going to be also a voice that's going to say gear up. And what if you're going to use Infinite Passengers and In-Flight Assistant at the same time? Don't worry, they will work simultaneously with no problem. And there's also a speed warning, which is 80 knots. And there's the voice. You can choose between John, Jan, Mark, which actually is part of the Infinite Flight test team, and Lori, which is this Indian, I think, voice to her. And you can have the ground speed warnings or whatever it is. I don't know what the fuck it is. You can have bank angle, glide slope, and autopilot disconnect, which will give you basically a warning if you disconnect your autopilot, which is something I don't recommend you buying because I don't see much sense. But if you want that total realistic feel to it, you can buy it if you wish to. It's just probably $5, yes. And passenger announcements, which is first call out, which will basically say we would like to welcome you on board the aircraft. Safety briefing, which is why I use Infinite Passengers. But then again, I'm going to go to the trick I showed you guys. You're just going to get this app called Download, which is this app called Download. What you're going to do with Download, it's, let's say, for example, Delta Safety Video. Okay, let's get Delta Safety Video. And that's if you don't want to spend money on Infinite Passengers. Let's get the Delta Safety Video. Copy the link, which is going to be here, share. Copy link. And then you're going to go to download. Sorry, receiving that sexy ass Frank Ocean. And for example, I already have this here. You're going to go to download. You're going to be here. Delete this. Paste. Go to this YouTube page. Just wait a little bit. You're going to click on it. You're going to stop the video and you actually be download global safety video. Now you're going to play the safety video, for example. If you want it to work simultaneously, just use your headphones and use the play and pause buttons on your headphones or earphones. And you can play the video. And once you're on your aircraft and you begin pushback, if you want it to be that realistic, you can play. You can press the play button on your earphones, or actually here on the control center, which is here, and it will work. So that's if you don't want to buy Infinite Passengers and spend an extra $1. And plus, you can get it, the safety video for many other airlines. So, which is a trick I found out, and I find that most of you guys will find it pretty cool. Snacks and drinks, which is going to be when you reach over 16,000 feet, they're going to say, oh, we're going to pass out for refreshments and shit, all that stuff. Beginning descent. When you begin your descent, there's going to be an actual call out by the pilot or co-pilot, which will say, ladies and gentlemen, we will begin our descent here at, which you just choose 18,000 feet. Prepare for landing, which is 3,000 feet, which is going to be a call out that's going to say for the cabin crew, which is cabin crew, please prepare for landing. After landing, which is gonna say welcome to our destination, be careful while opening the overhead bins and stuff. And soft applause if you have a soft landing. And you can have muffle on or off, which is basically gonna be when people talk to their little radio thing in the cockpit, and they're just gonna say, well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are landed in XXK, whatever destination, Pornhub and shit. And here are your voice commands, which you actually have to buy for another $549, which is a fucking ripoff. Because I already bought the app for the fucking price. And I have to buy this, and fucking this, which is a fucking pain in the ass, really. I think it's a fucking ripoff. And then you just perform the voice tests, and it basically works perfectly. So these are the ways I use to make Infinite Flight more realistic. And there's also one pretty cool way that which I use Infinite Flight to be more realistic, which is buy yourself an Apple HDMI to your iPhone cable. I think I know what the name is. Let me delete this right here. Cable. Okay. I think it's Lightning AV adapter or something. I don't know. Yes, this cable, which is the Lightning AV adapter, which is $50. Um, this cable, although it has pretty bad opinions, pretty bad rating, you can connect it to your phone. You can connect it to a charger. You can connect your earphones. That's if you're not using the iPhone 7. And you can also connect the HDMI cable, which will transfer your video or your game to the TV, which will make Infinite Flight much more realistic. Trust me, it will be worth it to have this cable and play Infinite Flight on your TV. It's going to be much more realistic than playing it on your phone screen. So thanks for watching. This is Nicholas, and see you on my next video.